Welcome to episode 14 of the Slab podcast, everybody. Where the grades matter, there are no rules. Brought to you by Professor Oak and Dagreenshiz Collectibles. So, we had a bunch of spicy comments over, obviously, the past 14 episodes. This episode, we're going to bring it back. We did it, I don't know how long ago. It was 3 weeks ago or something, where we had a bunch of spicy comments. Kind of just rattled through them the entire episode. We'll be doing the same thing here for you. We got a bunch of them lined up. We got all the usernames tagged this time so we can give the shout out to all the people who did the comments. But Shots of Spat, the Shots of Spat came in with 14 likes on his comment from last week. Thank you very much. And we're going to get into it here. So, number one spicy comment was CGC needs to drop their prices and bring back $2 subgrades. $10 grading with $2 subgrades would definitely increase their volume, in my opinion. Oak, how you doing, man? You ready to answer this?
I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I got to shout out Shots of Spat real quick too, because I've seen a few of his comments have been pretty good, spicy ones. He's definitely a good one. There's been I would say 3 or 4 people that have given regularly some really good spice. So thank you guys for that. You obviously know who you guys are, and we're going to shout you out throughout this video as well. But yeah, that one, I think they have maybe got a feeling a bit too big for the boots kind of feeling. I think this is trying to tone them down a little bit. Let's get back to $10. Like let's throw it down to $10. If you want to do subgrades, $2, can't be that difficult to enter a number when you're already assessing it. I know plenty of YouTubers talked about it. PK has definitely been a proponent of talking about that situation with subgrades not really making much sense with that price point. But $2, surely that's still profitable, you know, for the few seconds it takes to enter those grades. I would really hope that they are checking centering and corners and edges and surface. If they are, they should have a pretty natural response after doing hundreds a day, every day throughout their career to get that number entered. Maybe I'm naive. For me, it seems simplistic. I think $10 you should still be profitable, even with the time spent and the slab purchase. But what about you? I mean, it seems like a no-brainer.
It seems like a no-brainer to go down to $2 subgrades and $10 grading.
Yep.
It's $12 all in per card.
Let's go. No.
I wish it was that way. That'd be amazing, because then I'd get subgrades again. But I know basically that their intentions were to kill subgrades, essentially. Their sister company, CSG, the sports grading company, killed subgrades. They just literally shot it right in the neck and completely obliterated it. You only get subgrades now in their sport company when you get a perfect 10. Makes no sense. But they'll put 4 10s on your freaking label when you get a perfect card. They won't do it for any other thing. So
right.
This is CGC's attempt at killing subgrades. It essentially worked for everything outside of Yu-Gi-Oh! Apparently, because all the main Yu-Gi-Oh! Collectors like subgrades still and paying $30 to grade a single card, which is absolutely insane. But it's done a great job. It took me from being I was only subgrades. My first however many cards I graded with them were subgrades only. I'm like, ew, it doesn't look good without subgrades. Why would you ever do that? CG's a premium. But when you double the cost of grading, it's a play, because they have mentioned that it takes longer to grade a card with subgrades, because they said that in a vlog, in a blog or something that one of the graders commented on. And it makes sense, because then you got to mark down all the pricing. I have some proof of that. I'll mention in a second. But it's just a big brain play of them. Like, this is how we can get rid of subgrades. We'll keep it there for those weirdos that really want them. But it's I don't see it ever coming back. I would truly love it. I would love $12 grading with subgrades would be absolutely nutty. Would love to see it. It would be phenomenal, but it'll never happen again. They're never going to bring subgrades back, because they're literally trying to kill it. So if anything, the price of subgrades will go up, in my opinion. And just to give you guys my example, I had graded like a Lugia first edition from Neogenesis. I'd sent it in to get graded, asked for subgrades, paid whatever, $30, probably premium, probably paid $40, $25 to grade it, $15 for subs, and they sent it back without subgrades. I'm like, hey, you guys messed up. Can you tell me what the subgrades were, and that'll let me know if I even want to put the subgrades on it? And they don't have them. They had 0 subgrades that they could even tell me. They're like, no, you need to send the card back. We'll crack it out of the slab. We'll reassess it, identify that the different numbers that each different subgrade has, and then they promised they would end up with the same result. Whatever, it was a 9. So basically, they would come up with subgrades that would equate to a 9, which I was not a fan of, so I didn't end up doing it. If they could have told me the subgrades that they were logged or something, that would have been huge, way different. But it's kind of weird doing the backtrack thing. So I don't know. Subgrades are going to be going bye-bye here pretty soon.
You know what's
Basically,
so concerning to me about them not having subgrades is their specificity on grading right now. So they're talking about 0.5 grades and 2 different 10 grades, and they're so specific all the way to a 0.5, like half of a point.
Yeah.
Just like you had with your grade, very specific. It's exactly this. It's within 0.5 of hitting this exact number, but you can't tell me why.
Yeah, that makes sense completely.
That's concerning. Like PSA is like, I mean, that's the Walmart of pricing. It's like the most basic, simple, you know exactly what you're getting, right? Is you're getting a 10. If it's got a bit of a white mark or 2 or center is slightly off, but it looks good, it's a 9. There's a couple of little things wrong, it's probably an 8. It feels real simple. I've looked at 9s, I've looked at 9.5s, I've looked at 10s, and I've not been able to find anything wrong. I've also looked at 9.5s, and they've been way off center and had a white mark. If they had subgrades, I'd feel much better about them having accountability for the reason behind that actual grade. Honestly, the same for PSA. This isn't a CGC specific thing. Like, we're talking about CGC, but I think grading companies in general, they have no backing for why they're giving a grade when they're talking about different data points and they can't back up the data point. That's concerning. So I love the idea of them bringing back cheaper grading with subgrades at a more affordable pace, a more affordable price, should I say, so we can get the more of an understanding of why it reached that, why it's a 9.5, why it's a 10. Because I've seen some really clean cards from CGC with bad grades, and I've seen some that look exactly right, and I can see myself. I can pre-grade it and go, yeah, that looks exactly what I would have graded it at that. So I don't know. I think it helps with education too on the people that maybe are submitting to CGC. I think they have definitely targeted some of the newer people, because a lot of the PSA people are maybe some of the older sport collectors, some of the older TCG collectors have been more PSA until the boom, and then the boom happened, they shut down, and when newer people coming in during that, they were submitting to CGC because that was their only like good, viable, cheap option. And them getting cards back with the grades they didn't understand, I think subgrades could have really helped with the breakdown, like the education, like what, like why is this an 8.5? Like so many 8.5s coming out at that height when they were just trying to knock cards out. There was some confusion around it, you know. So I don't know. I got mixed feelings about it, you know, good and bad. But I love the idea of them bringing it back cheaper. All of the companies, I think, should be cheaper. I think they're all way too expensive for what they do, honestly.
You think CGC will ever bring back subgrades sub $10?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I wasn't joking. Like I literally think it'll be $2-3. I really think they'll get to that point.
Do you think it will be sub $10 or $10 and below this year?
Oh no, probably. I would say. Well, I would say probably. I would say probably next year it'd be 10 or below. Yeah, I could see him getting to the point. I'll bet you 100.
All right, bet. I'll take that bet. $10 subgrades or below, you get $100 from me
by
the end of 24.
No, let's do spring. No, I'll do spring 20.
Spring
I
of
won't go
24. All right,
the whole, let's do a year's time. But I genuinely think
You heard-
by a year's time, we'll be looking at 10 or below.
for
The
subgrades.
for subgrades, I think the reason for that is I think that they'll want to capitalize on that excitement and that like accuracy part. It's a cool thing. Like I don't know if I want it on a PSA slab, but if PSA had always done it, I'd want it. And CGC did do it, and now I want it. Like I've got CGC cards without them, and I'm like, feels like it doesn't have the edge. I feel like there's something missing. Whereas I'd never feel like that with a PSA slab.
But they tried to kill it. You can't. That's what they did. They
But
doubled
what the
it.
collectors want.
I don't know. I know what I want.
What do collectors want? That's what we're gonna ask. I mean, guys, let us know in the comments. Like, would you want cheap subgrades added on?
It's tougher to get 10s when you have subgrades on the card. So I don't want subgrades on the cards I'm trying to get 10s from.
I do remember that. Yeah. That's
So you ask and you shall receive. We'll see. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to getting that $100 PayPal, Cash App, Ben.
I'll send you Diglets.
Yeah, send me 100 shadowless Diglets. Call it even. That'd be awesome. No, great comment. The shots of spat. Good work. Awesome. Very cool. But yeah, let's jump into the spicy comments. Hopefully this week, Professor Oak will actually grace us in the comment section with his effing topic, because last week he completely sharded the bed and didn't even put his comment up. So the disrespect is so real.
And then I'm sorry, guys. I was out on a family day. I've had family in the past week on vacation, and completely screwed up. So apologize. I'll do double spice this week. I got a good one. You want to go first?
Sure. I will go first. Investing in modern booster boxes has been one of my best plays in the last year.
The past year. Okay. I was going to say, I think miscut and error cards are the biggest bags of modern cards.
Everybody, you know what to do. Go upvote your favorite spicy comment from this week. Go comment a spicy topic, because you never know. It could be in a future video here in the next few weeks. We'll see. I'm sure we're definitely going to do this again. This is one of our favorite things to do, is looking back on some of the old spicy comments and kind of just rehash them out. So very cool. Very cool. Slap all those like buttons down there. Go check them out. You want to lead us into the next failure of a spicy topic?
Yeah, Mr. Walrus. We've had quite a few spicy comments from you. I saw some spice throughout this season of Slabbed podcast. A lot of effort, I can tell. You definitely have the humor and the intelligence to get the spice rising. And this last one that we're going to call out from a previous episode hit 12 likes. And you said, no matter the spice, as long as your comment is first, you'll win. I'm guessing you're referring to the Slabbed podcast comments. And I guess being first wins. I got to tell you firsthand, I've added in way past first. I am the latest guy to this game. And because I'm normally at work when this goes live in meetings and working, I definitely struggle to focus on that part of it. But I've added in way after loads of comments have been there, like half a dozen, 10, like not one of the first comments at all, and I've won. So I don't know if it is. I've got to disagree there. I would think what may be a little bit of correlation that you're picking up on there, Mr. Walrus, is some of the first people to comment are some of the spicier, more infested people. which is probably a spicy response, but some of the people that jump straight on and want to talk about what's been said in the podcast want to jump straight on and talk about their spicy topic. So, yeah, what do you think, Josh?
Yeah, his comment, I remember, I think he posted it like right away. So I'm like, okay, challenge accepted. I'm curious to see now if Mr. Walrus is going to run away with this and everybody's going to prove a point upvoting his. And I was really happy to see he didn't win. I did like his comment, just to be fair.
Me too.
I liked Mr. Walrus's comment. But yeah, Shot to Spat still outperformed him, even though he's commented much later than Mr. Walrus. Sorry, Mr. Walrus, you're proven wrong in this case. It's okay. If you need a shoulder to cry on, I'm here for you. So shoot me a DM and I got you, dude. I'll console you. But yeah, proven wrong, buddy. Proven wrong. You don't need to be first to be the most spiciest. That's for sure.
Just bring the heat.
Yeah. Next comment. Merch Collectibles, 11 likes from last week. Thank you very much for stopping in. Better pull rates, he said better pull rates in Scarlet and Violet will tank the booster box prices and will lower overall demand for the set. I'll let you break this down first, sir.
I feel like it's happening.
What's the booster box price?
118, I think, something like that. It's not crazy low. We're not talking 80, but I feel like demand is. I don't feel like everyone's hyped over it. I feel like everyone's already talking about Paldea Revolved, the next set. There's a couple of people talking about specific cards in the set, the Miriam Altar, and there is a lot of nice artworks in there. You got to agree, like it really is. It's a special base set, the base set for this generation.
Yeah,
it's definitely special, but I feel like it's heading that way. I think it might be right. The pull rates are great. I mean, it's easy to pull good cards. There's so many. There's so much volume. You're guaranteed to get some good cards in there. Just with the new outlay, you're gonna hit a nice card, like no matter what. So, honestly, I'm inclined to agree with that spice. You have opened Scarlet and Violet. Mine is sitting right here behind my screen. So, do you want to comment in on like your hit rate? Not quality. We're not talking quality here, but the demand and the hit rates for it, I guess.
I mean, I don't even know the names of the new rarities and stuff, so I can't really speak to it. But I got one gold card. Like, it wasn't bad. Like, I feel like the number of hits I got was exceptional. Bunch of cool cards that look awesome. So I agree in the sense that, and it's based on facts. We saw a bunch of people with the pull rates of all these different rarities, and it's much lower than the prior sets. Those were Crown Zenith is 100% a collector set. Every single card in there was a reprint. So it only makes sense to have those cards be harder to pull. Historically, I think we were talking about this last week. Base sets traditionally are kind of stinkers as far as sets go. As far as the price, they seem to be very printed. The pull rates from the Sword and Shield era was even easier than this set. So, I mean, what are we complaining about? This one's technically harder than the last base set. Collector sets are going nowhere. They will still be here. We got the 151 set coming out again. I'd be shocked if they stick with the pull rates for this set and carry it forward. I do think we are going to see that Moonbryon style rarity where they 1 in 2,000 packs, whatever that is. It'll be back in collector sets. So looking forward to seeing it again. I'm not sure how. I definitely agree in the sense that Scarlet and Violet is like the other base sets. It's going to tank. Everything's easy to pull for the most rate. I know Rattle completed the entire set in 3 cases, so it's pretty awesome.
Why do you think in one of the special sets instead of a regular set, like one of the seasonal sets?
Why do I think they're gonna have harder pull rates?
Yeah,
just more collector base instead of this. Like, this is a base set in the sense like the Pokemon TCG wants everybody to be available into some of these new cards, the way the new functions, the new EX cards. They want everybody to be able to have those. So it wouldn't make sense to make like the Arcanine, the Gyarados EX cards tough to pull unless they did like a really dumbed down version and then like a super secret art. You get 1 in 2,000 packs, but they didn't do that. They kind of stuck it right in the middle of the road. You can get the card as it is, the way it looks, in not too many packs, which is nice. They want to get people used to this new era, essentially, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. They've got wiggle room, right? It's a new generation. Like, we don't know what to expect. They've just knocked us knocked us out with the base set, but in reality, like, this whole generation, like, the world's our oyster. They can pretty much do whatever they want with it, and we can just kind of accept it and either buy it or don't buy it, rip or don't rip kind of thing. So it's gonna be fun. Yeah, I agree. I think that they will probably do some pretty special stuff for collectors. The artwork just seems to be so next level now. Like, I was looking at some of you remember like tag team type stuff and like some of the old like Cosmic Eclipse, not super old, but like, from a few years back, some of the sets from the late teens, and as we're coming into 2020, they've got trainers in there, and there's the tag team cards and that kind of stuff. There's been some pretty cool artworks, but right now some of the artworks really feel like art. Like some of them like genuinely look like pieces of art that an artist has drawn, not just for the character, but like to appreciate actual artwork. There's definitely some next level. That Hoot from I remember that one, the trainer one. Pretty special. Like, there's just someone to stand out, and they're just incredible. And I think that's part of the Moonbreon thing. Is it looks? It's not about like the Umbreon really isn't center focus, and like isn't like jumping on the screen or doing an action, or it's like there's a story in there. It's like a bigger picture than just the actual Pokemon. Whereas a lot of the older cards, it's the Pokemon that look cool, or the holo looks cool, or the texture, or the colors, or the shape, or the foot, whatever. Right now, it feels like the artwork genuinely feels like artwork, and it's like a whole encompassing thing with the Pokemon involved too. And people love it. It's not just me. So yeah, good one. It was a good topic. Walrus again, Mr. Walrus. Hoping to hear from Mrs. Walrus at some point, but for now we'll keep selling from Mr. Walrus. So a couple of weeks ago he said, most collectors are just hoarders with poor self-control. They're just buying out of habit. I'll let you take that one first.
Yowzer, right straight in the nuts on that one. Most collectors are just hoarders with poor self-control and self-esteem. No, I'm joking. They're just buying out of habit. Yeah, that about fits the bill on me. Got me chiseled out like a son of a gun. Yeah, bad self-control, completely buying random TCGs here and there, left and right, not working towards any set goals. That's me also. Yeah, but you about nailed it on the head. Not much to differentiate there. No. They're just buying out of habit. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's getting dark here. I would say this year it's a little bit better for me than the year prior. As far as buying out of habit, there's definitely been a lot less buying this year, for sure, over last year. Last year, this fit me like a freaking son of a gun. Like that nailed it on the head for me last year. That was me all over the place, collecting different goals, not really setting an established goal, and I was bouncing around too much. But this year, it's definitely a lot more focus on let's make this a little bit more profitable than technically being not profitable last year. So, yeah, definitely honing in. I'd probably need to go to therapy, and that'll help straighten me out. But it's definitely turned to a good corner here. we're looking bright. What about you, man?
I
I'm gonna go
mean,
talk to my drink real quick. I'll be back.
I feel like I was just targeted at both of us. Like I feel exactly the same. I would have given the exact same response if I'd have gone first. Yeah. I mean, I spent too much. I gave way too much stuff away last year. I don't regret a single piece of it. This year, I'm still doing it. I'm still giving things away. I just mailed out like 5 different things this past week to people. I sent you something. I'm sending people stuff all the time because I just can't help it. I just love it. I enjoy it. And yeah, I've been buying stuff in binders, putting stuff in a pile. I mean, I'm all over the place. Like,
this comment reminds me of when we were talking. I don't know what it was, a week or two ago, when you bought your ETBs, because you were like, "Yeah, I bought 4 of them this time." I'm like, "All right, why'd you buy 4?" And you're like, "Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like it was right. Like I should like." I thought I'd get it all in one box, and they shipped them all separately.
And they're still sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah,
I haven't opened any. I haven't sold any. I mean, it's just literally sitting there. So yeah, the epitome of it. Hit the nail on the head.
I got the code for this thing, and I felt like super obligated to go and spend the whatever $20-$30 on the website. I'm like, I gotta do it. I gotta get these freaking promos. Like it was like itching my neck. Like I had to do it. You lost yours. That's what you're looking for.
It's here. It's here. Hang on. I just did the same thing. See, this is why we do a podcast together. This is.
I got the Lance's Charizard Celebrations box is what I bought to get those. I think you had linked it in the Discord.
Yeah, I bought 4.
You went over the top on that one too. Nice, very nice. You only needed to get 2, bud.
Oh my god, so bad.
Yeah, just double it.
Seriously, YOLO. You know what though? I mean, we are like hitting on ourselves right now, but I know this spicy topic was rooted in self-loathing. Like Mr. Walrus feels exactly the same as us. It was him projecting himself on us because he knows we can relate to him. That's exactly what it is, right?
Yep, I'd agree with that statement.
That's what I'm going to go with.
Speaking of Mr. Walrus, shout out to the next live guest on PokeFlips podcast, Mr. Walrus.
Is it really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, you must not watch that channel, apparently. No.
Yesterday? Was it today?
Whatever. A couple days ago, they announced it.
Was it a couple of days ago?
Last Thursday. Yep. That'll be the next live. 2 weeks. 2 weeks from last Thursday, I think, is when it's going to be. So that'll be cool.
Yeah, that's exciting. That'll be really cool. I'm definitely going to be leaving spicy topics for them. Are they going to be live?
I would assume so.
All right. We'll be spicy in the chat.
I don't remember. Yep.
I'll do some spicy mod chat for them. Coming at you, Mr. Walrus.
All right, I'll let you read the next one.
Phil. My friend Phil. Mr. D'Souza. He said spicy. Diglett is longer than Wiglet. God. He is just a... He's just a grower, not a shower. Diglett is longer than Wiglet. He's a grower, not a shower. Phil, I disagree. I know. Listen, Josh, I know Dagreenshiz is a Diglett fan. I'm all about the Wiglet. Wiglet's got it. He's newer. He's fresher. He's got water control. He's there. He's all about it. So if you disagree, let me know. But I disagree with Phil. What do you think? Diglett or Wiglet? Who's bigger?
I think they're both freaking massive.
Are you checking?
Massive. They're both massive because 8 inches is well above average for Diglett. Diglett's well above average. Call him beer can. The dude he's stumpy. So, I don't think he's a grower. The dude is just what it is. Don't expect no more, no less. He ain't getting no bigger. He ain't getting no smaller. He's just what it is. Wiglet, 3'11". That is a mass. Good effing night. Like, that thing is, it's just like freaking freakish, out of this world at this point.
Do you know what a garden eel is?
Yep.
The ones that come out of the sand and like straight up. It's one of those, right? Is it called a garden eel? Am I going crazy?
I would agree with that statement.
I think
by Googling.
Yeah. Diglett is a mole. So they're like two completely different Pokemon, right?
Yeah, it's a mole Pokemon. Yep.
So we've got an eel and a mole. They got similar looks.
And then you got Swinub, who's got a very similar nose. One of the most elaborate species.
Definitely a cousin. So Phil, you're wrong. Fire extinguished.
$1 million. Who's taller, Diglett or Swinub?
Diglett or Swinub? Oof. Swinub.
$1 million. You're correct. 1 foot 4 inches versus 8 inches.
I'm rich.
We have well, sir.
But we have yet to have an actual Diglett unveiled, like a full Diglett, right? We've only seen his head. Just a tip.
So you're saying he is a grower? Thought you just said he wasn't an effing grower.
I'm saying we don't know.
You're backtracking. Know what's insane? Pidgey, Spearow, and Rattata, all 4 inches taller than Diglett. That makes no sense. That's insane.
I feel like Pidgey looked pretty big in the game.
I feel like Diglett looks somewhat bigger than 8 inches, I guess. That's like this big. The dude's this big.
Yeah, I feel like he looked a little bit. I don't know.
I didn't realize this thing's like actual size now.
Not far off. Yeah.
This is massive.
Yeah.
That's above average, people.
It's almost Red Bull energy. All right.
Okay. Great topic, Mr.
Thanks,
Mr. Phil. Great work. Keep them coming.
You're up.
Shots of spat again 2 weeks ago. Rookie card premium in Pokemon does not exist. Cards do not sell at a premium due to it in almost any instance. This is a fake narrative being brought in by sports card investors. I'll let you unpack this.
I think it's just never been a thing, right? Like I don't think I've ever thought I need to go after this generation's first card or their first it says rookie card, but their first like appearance or whatever, the actual true phrase of it is. I can't see people going crazy in this base set of Scarlet and Violet for Fuecoco or Quaxley or whatever, because it's their first appearance. I think they'll more likely go after one that's maybe a bit rarer or that a better artwork or more desirable in a different way. I just don't think the first appearance is that important as a rookie card, because in sports the rookie insinuates the first card before they came something. It's like the hidden rough gem, the rough diamond before it got polished and turned into something amazing. It's always going to be the same Pokemon. Like they might get different artwork, so they might get different moves or HP or whatever they end up doing with it, but it's always going to be Quaxley for the next 50 years or 5 years or 100 years, however long Pokemon goes. It'll always be Quaxley. So I think the sports card it's more the diamond in the rough, and it could become something and then drift away. Like it's like right now this is going to be the hot rookie card, and I think for Pokemon it just doesn't. There's no relation. Like it doesn't work at all. So I think I agree with that one. I think that's another good one that I do agree with. I like the idea of it. I do like the idea of having a binder, or honestly, all the way back from base set. Again, getting as many cards as possible, their first appearance from base set, to do it through not necessarily their rookie card, but their first appearance in terms of like collecting their first card of their number, the Pokemon number, the Pokedex number. So more of that in terms of like it being their rookie card, and like the psychological aspect of it, but more just like this is the first time they ever had a card, so this is the first time they're going in the binder kind of thing. Do you have any interest in that? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
I gotta start with asking you a few questions here. So, why do you think first edition base set Pokemon is more expensive than Shadowless?
I think people have an emotional attachment to the variation of it in terms of psychologically thinking it's more rare because it's older, or it's like the first print or whatever. It's just like I said, for me, honestly, I have a hard time relating to it because it's the same art. It's literally the same card minus the tiny little stamp.
Yep.
So
it's the first printing of the English Pokemon cards, right? Is technically the rookie cards, if you want to use that term, or it's just the first printing.
But you could say that if it was printed an hour before, right? An unlimited. So you could say an unlimited set. Say the original. Say Scarlet and Violet, right?
Yeah, everything's unlimited. Yep.
They printed a set 2 months ago of Scarlet and Violet base, and they printed a set yesterday of Scarlet and Violet base. Like, is that card 2 months ago any different? Like,
no.
Is it like it's 2 months ago? Yes, technically the first printing, but it's the same card. Like, it's the same artwork. It's the same set. Like, first edition and unlimited isn't a different set. Like, people have in their heads that it's a different set and it's a newer set for unlimited. It isn't. It's base set. It's the exact set. It's literally base set. It's the same card. It's just a variation of it. It's the exact same set from the same year and the same genre. Like, it's the same generation. It's the same set. Everything drives me wild that people are so crazy about first ed when it's literally the exact same card. Right?
But the first edition stamp attaches it to the rookie-ness. Like you look at Neo Genesis, the first edition Lugia, the first edition whatever inside of those sets. That's the reason that card is the most expensive Lugia card. It is the first printing of Lugia in English. The thing's freaking insane in a PSA 10. They're not going after the unlimited one because it's technically the second printing of it. That's why you're not getting as much hype around it. I think in that sense, looking at the first edition versus non-first edition being like the rookies for those, like look at Charizard, the Dark Charizard first edition that came out. That obviously is not the rookie card of Charizard, if you want. I keep calling it that, but first edition doesn't mean rookie, right? Because it wasn't the first printing. So Neo had 3 sets. So many different things got reprinted in those sets. A lot of first edition rookies, you want to call them that, came out in Neo Genesis. Mm-hmm. Neo Rev came out with the Legendary Dogs first edition. Those were like the rookie cards for the dogs. Those are ultra premium over any other versions of them, I feel like. So I feel like it does mean something. But it kind of goes away when you drop off the first ed stamp. When you start looking at the EX era and the Nintendo era and Scarlet and Violet, like, it's tough. Like, there's going to be how many? We got a Diglett in every set, so God knows there's going to be a Wiglet probably in every other set. nobody's really gonna care. Besides me, what was the first ever printed Wiglet? It's gonna be tough.
Well, which was? Because there isn't one in the set, right? There's multiple.
There's three, yeah. 3 different variants. Oh, then yeah, you got reverses, non-reverses. So there's like 5 different Wiglets you can get in this set. Cards. So I feel like it'll matter a little bit more for some of these cards, like the Miraidon, the Koraidon. Some of those could be looked back on as like, oh, this is the first printing. It had an alt art, had a gold card that also has like 4 different rookies, right? Kind of like how sports does it. There's like 4 different optics: orange, blue, black, silver, rainbow. We're doing the same thing here. Some of them just have harder pull rates. It's literally the same thing. I feel like we just don't attach the word rookie to it. We don't attach first print to it a lot of times for modern cards. But when you look at the vintage stuff, it's the rookie cards that are generally pulling the highest value across the board. Blastoise. I can't think of. Can you think of one where the second ever printing is outshining the original first ad or whatever? I can't. Even Moonbryon is.
I know some Japanese cards, but this is the thing. It's about the card. It's not about the character. It's not about the Pokemon. It's about the card, and it's about the rarity. Like some of the Japanese stuff, the unlimited is rarer, so it's more expensive. Does it being more expensive mean that it has a premium, or does having more people wanting it mean it has a premium? I mean, there's like so many nuances with it. I guarantee I am not in the minority saying that I don't care in the difference between unlimited and first ed. I guarantee anyone in this chat right now that's listening would be happy with an unlimited Charizard or a first ed Charizard. Either way, if they never had to sell it for the rest of life, it was just to keep. I would imagine either of them would be very happy to get either.
If you could have either one at the same cost, there ain't no one nobody would take the unlimited one.
Why? Never gonna sell it. It's the same thing. Like I'd be 50-50. Yeah, I'd be indifferent. Would be the word.
I can't flex the unlimited one to my kids' friends. It's not cool.
I'm not flex. I literally don't show my cards to anyone. No one gives a shit.
That's your first problem. Trying to flex it on my kids' friends.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I just feel like there's too much thought put into it. It's just they're brilliant. They're brilliant cards. I enjoy them, but you hit the nail on the head. You're talking about the Wiglets and Scarlet Violet rookie card premium. I mean, first of all, which card and why would that have a premium over this next set in 3 sets time or 4 sets time, where Wiglet has the most incredible artwork that's very low printed and it sells for $50 more? Okay, so does it have a premium or not? Like, I don't know. Maybe it sells for less. Maybe it sells for 25 cents. I don't know. Yeah. I haven't seen. I mean, he says like they don't sell at a premium in almost any instance. Like, it's very valid what you're saying about the first ed, because people really do. There are a pretty big group of people that really do value first ed stamp and spend some crazy money. But for me, I really think that they are in the minority. I genuinely believe that. Like, I'm not just saying that just to be spicy. Like, I really genuinely think people that spend crazy money on first ed cards are in the minority. And I think most people would be happy buying an unlimited card, honestly.
Yeah. I want to elaborate on this Wiglet scenario real quick a little bit more. So you had mentioned if another Wiglet comes out down the road, which one's going to be worth more money? And I think it's heavily depends on the artificial like scarcity they put into the pull rates. Like, if they make this next Wiglet 1 in 300 versus whatever it is, it's like probably 1 in 40 right now, the full art one, because I pulled one. So it's like they could literally artificially inflate it with pull rates. That'll increase the price. The playability of it, that'll increase the price. All these different things that go into effect Similar with sports cards, you get all these non-rookie cards that are 101s, like 101 LeBron James for 2023. Who gives a flying F? The dude started 40 years ago in the league. Like, why is he? Why do I care about this 2023 card? Right? It's because it's a 101. It's artificial scarcity pumped into the price, which is like the Moonbryon, the artificialness, like rattle not purposefully is pumping the price of Moonbryon and Evolving Skies, showing everybody the impossibleness of pulling this card because he's had so many freaking videos trying to pull it and it's so elusive. That's why that card's so expensive. It's got the artificial scarcity, actual scarcity pumped into it from the Pokemon company. I don't think Wiglet could ever be outdone on the art because they killed it. It's got a Slowpoke and a Shelter and Love Disc all in the same card. Don't think that could ever be done, but they could definitely, I don't know why they would, make another fancier Wiglet that has a tougher pull rate. That'll happen. They could make one that's playable, and that one could be more expensive easily. So,
or
I don't know.
Or higher demand.
Yeah.
It's an amazing artwork. Everybody wants that Wiglet because of the artwork. Maybe it's tagged with a trainer, it's tagged with another Pokemon. Maybe it's Wiglet and Charizard, whatever. Like, there could be an instance where they could print it to the moon. I think Umbreon's been printed crazy. Like the Moonbryon, like there's a significant number of them, but the demand far outweighs the actual inventory that's out on the market for it. So there could be something like that could drive it up. But I still, yeah, I mean, I just think that completely negates any rookie card premium for Scarlet and Violet base for me. Yeah. It's a cool topic.
Definitely. No, that was fun to unpack and digest. Thanks, Shots of Spat. You're a legend. Thanks again for all the spicy comments. Keep them up. You're up. I'll let you read this one.
Hunter Haas, you've had quite a few good ones throughout too. I've seen a couple from you, so thank you. Hunter says, don't let other people tell you how to enjoy your collecting journey. Unless you're doing it only for profit selling. None of us were kids collecting cards, even wondering how much value they would gain or lose, even retain any value whatsoever. All thoughts are purely speculative and mostly lies. So, I think what Hunter is saying here is it's coming back to the root of it, right? We weren't in it for profit. We weren't in it to make money or whatever. Like, we weren't even spending our money. A lot of us were spending parents or uncles or whatever pocket money. It really is about collecting, right? It's that simple. I don't think that's too spicy, honestly. Myself, for me, I feel like that's very relatable. I think even now, I've probably got more geared towards for some of the cards that I care about less, maybe making profit in, and looking for opportunities in making profit. But for the most part, in the cards that I collect, I'm really not looking at what they're worth. Like, there's a lot of cards in my binder that, like, I could probably struggle to like tell you what it's actually worth. I'm just not keeping on top of it because it doesn't mean anything. I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to sell it. I'm not looking at what it's worth. What about you, Josh? Like, do you think it's something that you're on top of? Are you worrying about how much you'd gain and lose when you're buying a card or collecting, or some of the cards that you've already been holding for a while? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, all the time. It's pretty it's a vicious attack on my brain. I did a lot of I bought just perpetually through the ups and downs of Pokemon the last 3 years. So I bought in the highs, sold in the highs, bought other things in the highs, and coming down off the highs and going up into the highs. So yeah, I know my price point on a bunch of cards is not great. A bunch of price points are amazing. A bunch of sales are amazing. So I'm always keeping tabs on those. Like, I could pull out some cards and be like, yeah, I bought this for X, or bought it in whatever collection, so that my price point's really low. I'm always, even the things I'm just collecting, all my Zapdos cards, I know my price points on all of them. I can't keep track of it. It's pretty easy to do. There's not too many of them. There's less than 20, so it's kind of easy there. Yeah, it's, and also when I was a kid, when I was in Pokemon, it was not a thing. I wasn't. This was before Yu-Gi-Oh, so I was playing the game, collecting random cards. I'd get a pack maybe once every 2 weeks, and it was amazing. And I would just trade, and I didn't have any sense of value. I was just trading probably a shiny for a shiny or something like that. That kind of carried over into Yu-Gi-Oh, but quickly eBay became a thing when I was in Yu-Gi-Oh, and before eBay was really picking up steam for collectibles and cards, I'd be able to trade holographic for holographic and take advantage of kids when I was like also a kid and try and get some good deals for cards I needed in my deck. And then eBay effing came out and was pumping Yu-Gi-Oh and sports cards and whatever. And everyone was like, "Oh, what's the value of that card? And what's the value? What?" And I'm like 12 years old. I'm like, "What the f do you mean? What's the value of this card? Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. It's a shiny card, dude. It's got, look at the shiny. It's got the parallels going diagonal on it. Thing's fancy as hell. It's expensive. It's like, what's the value?" I was like, "I don't got a phone." Like, but it quickly, everything's about money. So they would pull out these 4 cards. They'd be like, they'd price them out. They'd be like, "Oh, this is 10, this is 15. So I'm gonna trade you something of the exact value." Completely killed trading for me. It was kind of very annoying. You couldn't really do some cool deals and stuff like that much more anymore. And yeah, so it's ever since then for me, I've always kept track of different things, speculating on the prices, retaining value, what's losing value and stuff, and it's perpetually burning holes in my brain. But try not to let other people influence my collecting journey. I don't think anyone really does. Trying to think of it, but the more influence on what my plays are for buying and selling, more stuff along those lines. Just taking in a lot of knowledge and applying the knowledge into buying different things and selling them. But the collecting journey, it's all my weird brain collecting Diglets and Zapdos and Amazing Rare Kyogre. So nobody's influencing those madness. So no, that's awesome comment. What do you like collecting outside of Pikachu's? What's one of your crazy things you're looking at?
Yeah, I got some weird stuff, honestly. I mean,
Mr. Potato Head and
you see him over here. Yeah, I've got a. Never noticed it was watching us the whole time. I like MetaZoo. I think is it called aura cards? It's like auras and like land whatever. It's the ones where it's the view. Like I got a bunch of those. Basic said he was going to send me some too. He had some cards that like to complete the set of those. Freaking love those things. They look really cool artwork. And then I got a few sports cards. I got some Eevees I've collected. I got a bunch of Professor cards, obviously, that I've collected. I'm trying to think. I got some weird Japanese stuff, some Japanese stickers from back in the day.
You got a PSA 10 Professor Oak?
I have some Professor Slabs. I don't know if it's a PSA 10. I'm trying to think if it's a base set PSA 10 Professor Oak. I don't think I do.
Christmas present ideas.
Yeah.
I'd be all over that.
Yeah. Well, only 8 months to go.
Counting down. I was singing Christmas songs on Easter. It was amazing.
No.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, it's been Pikachu's. I've got a lot of Pikachu's. I just generally have a lot of cards. I have too many cards. It's like kind of silly, honestly. I need to sort them out. I need to get rid of them.
Yeah.
I think for me, I like and collect stuff that just looks cool because it's to look at, right? It doesn't literally, excuse me, unless you play which I don't really, because I don't have a store or a game or anything nearby that I can do it with. I don't have anyone. Sound like a loner, but I don't have anyone to like play with, like locally that I can practice with or something. I don't have a nearby store that I can go and play at or train at or whatever. And so for me, honestly, it's about collecting the artwork and what I enjoy and what I love to like look at, and I just think it's cool, or what I think is something special. And a lot of YouTubers, a lot of Pokemon people will tell you like that's the stuff you should buy. Like that's the stuff, if you're going to invest in something you enjoy, because like most likely that's going to be something someone else would enjoy and want to pay for at some point. I can get that, but like that's not the forefront of it for me. For me, like there's cards I have that are literally worthless. Crimson Invasion Pikachu for me is like, I have like 10 copies. Like I just think it's like some people sent me some. I think Ancient Mew sent me a few. Some people sent me some, and I just love it. I think it's the best Pikachu artwork. I just think it's brilliant. It was also, I think it was 2018 McDonald's Pikachu. They did a hollow variation of the same artwork. I need to find that too. I haven't got that copy yet, but I guess they're worthless. Like it's literally worthless, and I still think it's fantastic. So for me, it's much less about the money, but I don't think that's like me on my high horse or me on a pedestal. Like, oh, I collect stuff and I don't have to like be fancy about it, or it's not about the money. Like I'm not trying to like preach or like be condescending or anything. I just genuinely enjoy like specific artworks. I also enjoy that. Probably my second favorite card is the Nata Wake Pikachu, which is ridiculously expensive. Like we're talking $1,000 card. Like that's a very expensive card. It's a variation of the birthday Pikachu, and it's just beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. So it isn't. Trust me, I'm not preaching about like invest in 20-cent cards. Like it's not like that. Just invest in what you love, and if you can't afford what you love, invest in the second thing you love, or the third thing you love, or the fourth thing you love. Just enjoy it. So
yeah,
I don't know.
That's why I'm balls deep into Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm gonna quiz you with something. You'll have no clue, but I'm gonna give you some context now.
All right, hit me.
This is one of my favorite cards of all time. It's a PSA 9 card trooper.
Sputnik.
Yep, looks like Wally the robot, right? So one of the most played cards back in its time when it came out. It came out in 2007. So this card was busted. A box to get these is probably $500. You get a box of probably 24 packs. $500, $600. Yeah, sealed. This is the highest rarity card in the entire set. This is the chase card in the set, and it's only an ultra rare. I bought this PSA 9. Guess the price on the graded PSA 9 ballpark. You might get one every 2 boxes or so.
And then $500.
Yeah. Pop 4 in 10. PSA 10.
But that's a 9.
This is a 9.
I'd say 200.
$30 shipped.
Jesus Christ.
Literally. The pop, it's probably
I was going to say 250.
10. No, it's like a pop 10 in a PSA 9. Like Yu-Gi-Oh is amazing right now. So
oh my God.
I don't want to shill it for you guys, but the affordability is insane. Like the booster box is expensive. I would never in my life ever buy that just because of how expensive it is trying to get it and maybe getting it and maybe getting a 10. Population, whatever it is. It's probably less than pop 20 and a 9. It's $30.
What year is that?
07.
So it's not, you can't say, oh, it's because it's modern and there's loads of it and there's millions out there. Like
there's definitely not even
we're
a
talking
lot. Like finding a box is tough to find.
So we got a $500 box that isn't always out there. It's not always in every box. It's 15 years old, 16 years old, whatever. And it's in a 9 that's low pop in that grade. I mean, that's crazy. At $30. That's insane. I was going to say 250 and I was like,
250.
Yeah, I'll come down a little bit because
I think I offered 400 to somebody with a 10, but all the 10, there's only 4 of them. They're all in collector hands, and they're not selling them with any price. So,
oh yeah,
yeah,
I would imagine that. I mean, knowing what it is, like for the people that genuinely know what it is, I mean, it's got to be a collector item, yeah.
Yeah, $30 though. It's amazing. Cool stuff, man. No, there's so much cool stuff out there for people to collect, and you don't got to be stuck in chasing the highest, most expensive Pokemon cards out there. Talk about some of the stuff you're seeing at the at Walmart.
Yeah,
people could collect.
Before getting to that, I want to touch real quick. Do you think I'm trying to think of back to the episode of Pawn Stars where Gary was there with his Charizards, and I'm imagining someone with like blue eyes, white dragon. Is it blue eyes, ice dragon? Blue eyes, white dragon.
Blue eyes, white dragon.
Is there a Gary of Yu-Gi-Oh? Is there like someone that back in the day collected a bunch of like the real nice fancy stuff and has just been sitting on it and like milking it ever since?
Not that's come to light yet that I can think of.
If you're out there, let us know.
Yeah, they're probably doing all right.
We could call him like, instead of Gary, we could call him Red or something. I feel like we need a different name for him.
Let's call him Steve.
Steve.
Steve is solid. Steve's a solid name.
Steve, come forward. We're waiting for you.
Yeah.
Come to the community.
They got to be out there.
So, Steve, if you want to get into modern, I was in Walmart earlier today. I was grabbing a few bits and bobs that were needed on the way to pick up the dogs from doggy daycare.
What's a bit and a bob?
Bits and bobs. Oh, that's an English phrase. Sorry. That means I was getting like little BS things that we needed.
Random shit.
Just like just like random stuff.
Pips and bobs.
That must sound real dumb to an American. Sorry, guys. I was buying groceries at the grocery store, and I looked in the Pokemon section, and I saw Digimon, and I saw Garbage Pail Kids, and I saw Metazu, and I saw Magic the Gathering, and everything. Everything was there. There was a box of Prism, like a Prism basketball or baseball, I forget what it was, and there was a box next to it that looked carbon copy, exactly the same, but it was called Hoops. So I'm guessing it was basketball actually. And it was exactly the same, but it's called Hoops. And I was like, I feel like that's not real basketball cards. But these shelves were stocked. And I'm serious, like they were packed. I've never seen them like that. And it's a Tuesday. They restock on Fridays at that Walmart. Like I know. It's been 2 years I've been going there. Like I know exactly which day it is. So for that to be fully stocked on a Tuesday for all that stuff, people aren't buying random stuff anymore. Just any kind of trading card or flip or sport or whatever. Garbage Pail Kids, like I didn't know that was a thing anymore. I thought that was 20 years ago. Digimon, I didn't know they had new sets out that were released in Walmart and everything. That was shocking. Blast from the past there. And then again to Pokemon, there's pretty much nothing. It was almost the exact opposite. There was a couple of Pokemon Go little boxes, a couple of little tins. There was the shiny Pikachu box, whereas the big promo and the small promo from Shining Fates, and the packs were missing. So I guess someone stole them. Somehow it was sealed still. So I don't know how they took the packs out. I don't know if it was an error box. There's something wacky there. I can't wrap my head around it, but yeah, something going on there. There was just a couple of random weird like things, like nothing good at all, like zero good Pokemon stuff. Not a single blister pack, not a single booster pack. Like it was just a couple of those random like promo box type of stuff, and the rest of all the shelves were completely jam packed with like all these random things. The Garbage Pail, MetaZoo, and Magic the Gathering, loads of Magic the Gathering, loads of sports cards, everything. Honestly, it kind of made me feel good. Like it was kind of nice. Even obviously, if it's like weird seeing things on the shelves, but it was really good knowing like people are still eating up all the Pokemon. People are still really interested and invested in collecting and ripping, flipping, whatever it is they're doing with it. But people are still buying Pokemon cards. I don't think there was any Scarlet and Violet. I didn't see any. So for the new set to be out and it to be all gone, but all Prism, Prism basketball cards to be sitting there, for me says a lot, because we all know that sports is a much bigger card game, much bigger collector base than TCG for the most part, especially Prism. Like I know that's one of the good ones. Chronicles was there, a lot of baseball cards and football cards. There was everything. So, have you experienced anything recently, Josh? With
Was there any Yu-Gi-Oh or no? Usually there's where there's Magic. Usually there's a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh still on the shelf.
I don't think I did see Yu-Gi-Oh actually. I don't remember seeing. I stood there for a minute because I was checking behind things to see if anyone tried to hide anything, and I was just scouting out like what's going on here, like because it was all a bit jumbled up. It had been a few days, they hadn't restocked since Monday, since Friday, so it'd been a few days, the weekend, and a lot of stuff was gone in the Pokemon little area. But I was checking everything else, and I don't think I saw Yu-Gi-Oh stuff actually.
Yeah, I think we're in the midst of maybe another junk wax era for sports here pretty soon. Everywhere I'm seeing has tons and tons of those little boxes that are about yay big. They got $45 price tag on them. There's just so many different companies making these freaking things. Like you had mentioned, Hoops, and it wasn't even Prism. It was like an off-brand Prism or something. There's just too many different companies trying to feed the market. They don't know when to stop. Like Pokemon is just one company making, so they know the demand and how much is going to be purchased and sold and gone through. With sports, you got 3,000 freaking different companies trying to make these different cards, and they're all just dumping as much as they can at the same time, trying to get the most money. So it's a way different scenario, and it don't look good, and it's confused. Like when I go over to those kiosks and I'm looking, I'm like, Jesus Christ, there's so much sports. It's confusing to see all this freaking wax, they call it, there on the shelf, and it's almost overwhelming. It's a good thing that it's available for people to want to buy it now instead of people punching each other in the face to steal it.
Yeah.
But people aren't doing it because the value's not there at all anymore. It's tough to pull a 1/1 or a 1/5 or a 1/10 card, and it's like you said, it's awesome to see Pokemon still doing well. Obviously, it would be good if it was still on the shelf for people to be able to buy some. I just saw, kind of side note, I saw Charizard UPCs were on Amazon.com today, $89 shipped. That was pretty crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I did not see that.
There's still modern-ish stuff available in some aspects, which is good. They must have printed that thing to a freaking oblivion, man, because that thing is not going away anytime fast. That's why they're months behind on supply, it seems, almost.
There was a lot of initial waves when it first released. I felt like everyone could get it like right out of the gate, and like you say, they're still trying to drop it. So
yeah, it's wild. Yeah, it's there's definitely more and more stuff in those little kiosk areas where the cards are. Week over week, there's more and more stuff. But like you said, Pokemon's kind of scarce, especially in metro areas, city areas for sure. Obviously, there's way more eyes on it, where people scoping it out.
Have you been tempted to buy any of those when you've looked at those sports cards? Like you've seen a box of Prism or a pack of Prism or anything? Because I was looking like, I feel like there's something here that would probably have something really cool in it. I just don't. There's just so many things, like you were saying.
Yeah.
There's like so many things. I'm like, I honestly don't know which is the best thing for me to buy to like pull a cool card that I could enjoy.
Yeah, no, I for sports I buy the card I want usually, or if I'm at a card shop and I see there's a rookie of a sports superstar from Metro Detroit area or Detroit area, and I'll snap by it usually, or PWCC. I look at Detroit sports people, and not usually a wax guy at all. So Pokemon's enough fun gambling once every couple sets, opening a box, but I ain't getting into the wax game. That's it's a little sus. Name for me, man.
Until we get on whatnot, we're not in the wax.
Anyways, what were you saying, sir?
I don't know.
All right, glad to hear it. But yeah, no, I always go to those kiosks hoping I'm gonna buy something. I'm like, man, I'm gonna buy something today. And then either the frickin' Pokemon items like $30 more than what I can buy it for on TCG Player, or they're missing like the one box I want to buy. Like, I don't know the last time I've purchased something from Target or Walmart because of that. Usually, like Target now, I think increased their prices. I think like ETBs are $60 all day. It's crazy. I can't keep up. Like TCG Player is way cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, just last year I was buying some ETBs for $34 on eBay. It's insane, like the situation right now with some of the modern stuff. So, but then also some of the cards are worth big money. I mean, honestly, like some of them hit a 10, you're making profit. Like you really are making true profit there if you're looking to do it as a play to make money and sell. The reason I was looking primarily at that aisle, obviously for Pokemon, but I was looking at, someone told me that a lot of the Walmarts had restocked with Sylveon celebration boxes, the Sylveon promo one. So I was checking there just to see if there's any. I loved celebrations. I thought it was a brilliant set. I've got a little binder, collecting them all. I've still got, I don't know, I think 4 cards left to collect in it, 4 or 5 left in there that I need to get. So any opportunity there is where there's a box where I could potentially open it and get it myself, at MSRP or below. Like I'm not going to pay the prices people are paying right now for packs and for the boxes, but I figured I could do it and open it on the channel. It'd be fun, and didn't have anything. Just that random stuff that I talked about, but. Yeah, there was a lot of sport. There really was. I mean, there was 20 feet probably of 4 or 5 shelves down and 20 feet across of just pure sports cards like that. Just the sports area. There's probably 10 or 12 feet of like Magic the Gathering, Digimon, and like random stuff. A few MetaZoo things. Well, there was only. Is it Nightfall or UFO? What was the last one? I think UFO was the last one.
UFO, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was UFO. Oh yeah, no, I think it was UFO though. So older stuff. But what was interesting was they were like blister packs, whatever you want to call it, but they were in like not a MetaZoo cardboard sleeve. They were like just in like cardboard. Exactly. It was like the only pack and all the shelves that wasn't in branded like holding for the packs.
That's weird.
I thought that was really odd. Like I don't know if that's normal, but I would think they would have like MetaZoo on the front or something. It was it was strange, almost like a warehouse order, like something like Mason would have, like in the back, like just holding rows of packs or something. It was like a cardboard just holder thing. I thought that was weird. I knew what it was because I saw, inside I saw the packs that MetaZoo on it. I'm pretty sure it was UFO. Yeah, odd. But definitely like interesting seeing so much of everything other than Pokemon. And Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess, because I didn't see any Yu-Gi-Oh there. I don't know if that's because it was bought out because it didn't get stocked. But that's a good point. I didn't think about the fact that I didn't see that. I'll check next time though.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh is usually not flying off the shelves like that, even when it's a banging set. Usually, it's still some there. But well, what was I just gonna say? Completely drawn a blank. But I want to talk a little bit about the people who buy modern tens and stuff because I saw a cool video. I remember what I was going to talk about. I'm going to talk about that first. So I'm going back to what I wanted to say. So MetaZoo, we were talking about a little bit. Kickstarter boxes. Do you know the current price? Have you heard recently what they're going for?
I mean, they were pretty high. Have they gone up?
What do you think? What would you think?
I feel like they were like $3 or $4 grand or something last time I heard it. It was like a lot of money.
Last solds are like 1,600 and 2,000.
Is that down then?
Yeah, it's down. It's probably it's down
because they were like $3 or $4 grand at some point.
Yeah, they
right?
they were 10 grand or almost 10 grand at one point. 2,500 boxes were printed. Would you ever? Is there a price point where you, Professor Oak, would ever jump in and buy one of those? Only 2,500 ever produced.
It's pretty low. I think I could get in at 1,000.
Just basically thinking and knowing it'll go up. That's a safe point for you.
I think I'd need an edge to like kick. I need something to kick me over the edge. So I need them to do some of the stuff they were talking about, where they were talking about doing a show on Netflix or like not Funko, but like doing little like toys and games and stuff. They need something to like click and like make them bigger than just the cards. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering, like they all have something that's an edge that's their thing. I don't know what MetaZoo is doing that's like their thing right now outside of the cards.
Yeah.
I need something to kick me over the edge. The problem is it wouldn't just be me if that happened. And it wouldn't be 1,000. Like that would be the point where like things probably would kick off, which makes you think maybe you should buy it at 1,500 right now. Like that. I mean, honestly, because if they are planning that stuff and doing it, and they're serious about it, it could be a play there.
Yeah. No, I don't. At 2,000, it's starting to pique my interest. Even though I just sold everything I had to Basic Trainer. Shout out to him. All my graded cards, I have basically none left, essentially. But I like making money, and that seems pretty good. Pretty good at $2,000, $1,500. If I could scoop some, could be happening. It's.
Do you think some people are losing money on that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, selling them that low, they're kind of just recouping some money back because, like I said, they got probably close to 10 grand. I would like to think.
How much was the Kickstarter though? Was it? It was like 400, right?
To buy it into it?
Yeah.
No, you feel like you could have got much cheaper. I feel like there's a much cheaper option to get that original. If you're an original backer, I'm pretty sure there was a cheaper option than that.
Oh, I thought that like the top package where you got the box was like 400. Because I feel like some of those people that were those original backers and did the package where you got the box, $2,000 is a nice payout. Like right now, that's not bad. If it's 600 or 400, I mean, whatever. Like $2,000 is still exceptionally good return on investment in such a small period of time.
Yeah. You watch the Ken Golden series on Netflix? You know what that is, right?
From Golden Auctions. Did you say Golden?
Yep. Yeah, it's called Watch King of Collectibles, The Golden Touch. Yeah,
I'll have to check it.
I think it just dropped March 31st this year. I thought it was coming out end of April, but I guess I mixed the months up, but it looks like it's out. So that definitely is in my to watch list now for sure. I'm really curious.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan. Dude can be somewhat of a dunce sometimes, but seems like pretty good. Be pretty good content. My wife would hate it for sure.
He's a character.
Oh yeah.
He's got to be entertaining, like regardless of what he does. Like that guy is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he really has got a lot of personality, right?
Yeah. No, for sure. It'll be interesting to watch that. I'm looking forward to it. I watched the other. It was like a docu-series on sports cards. I don't know if you watched that. It had sports card investor Vegas Dave was kind of one of the main guys in it. You didn't watch that either?
No, not yet.
You got issues, bro. What the hell you been doing with your life? Watching all this YouTube content and watching real documentaries on Netflix.
Stop making so much content, Josh.
I don't make nothing now. I used to make a video a day. Ain't nothing like that anymore. You got all this free time now.
There's so much. I have zero free time. It's ridiculous.
Your daughters are like what, 10 and 8 now? Like, we're making up excuses.
I got thrown up on 3 times today. I'm not even kidding. It was
at Orlando?
Yeah, all over the place.
Nice.
Orlando, home, and the car. Yeah, everywhere. But in all seriousness, we should watch that. And I think people that are listening right now, you guys should watch that as homework. We should talk about that next week. I'm going to try and watch a little bit before we talk next week. And if you can, how much have you watched of it already?
0. Okay. I don't know if it's a show or it looks like a series.
Let's do it.
I don't know how long it is.
Let's at least watch an hour. Let's say whichever it is. Let's try and squeeze an hour in before we talk next week.
Can do. That'll be good. The one thing I was going to talk about here briefly, I'd seen a video. I was talking about people buying modern 10s. It's always the question, like, who the hell is buying these Zard UPC PSA 10s for $400 when they drop day one and stuff? And I saw Ninja. I mentioned this, I think, on my live stream this past Sunday, but Ninja's wife, Jessica Blevins, posted on TikTok story or Instagram story, her going through her collection, and there's a bunch of modern 10s. She's got some vintage stuff in there, but there's just an oversupply of different modern 10s, 9s as well, but definitely some vintage cards splashed in there. I thought it was cool to see her have like a PSA 10 First Ed Shining Charizard in there mixed in with modern stuff as well. Like, she's got some heaters. So I don't know. I feel like it's not just super rich people. Obviously, she's got hella money. You got to have some kind of money, though, to be dropping $340 on modern PSA 10s. There's a lot of people, I feel like, with a bunch of money, dumb money out there, just dropping money on these, getting ready to flex on their friends that I got this new shiny Charizard. So I feel like it's a lot of people with dumb money, obviously, because who else is buying a $12,000 Moonbreon? So it's there's a lot of dumb money out there.
You know what's really concerning to me? I don't know if concerning is the right word. What's really like surprising, I guess, to me, is the amount of people spending $30 or $40 on a modern PSA 10 of a card that's a 50-cent card.
Yeah.
Like a real super basic modern, like not hard to get, not hard to grade, not hard to like get any of that situation going on. And they're spending 30, 40, $50 on it.
Old made, yeah.
Dude, I saw one of the old mates for like over $100. The card was like 30 cents or something. Like insane. Like I've been selling some Pikachus, some Pikachus this past week. I've sold some for $29.99, $39.99 PSA 10s. Literally, they were like 50 cent and $1 cards. Like they're worthless. Like I think one of them, I looked it up on TCG Player and it said like 13 cents or something. Yeah. And I sold it for $29.99 in a 10. It cost me $15 to grade, a few bucks for shipping, whatever. Like I'm $20 in. I made $10 profit from free money. It just feels too easy. Like, it's not just Pikachu's, guys. Like, there's a million different cards out there. Like, there's all different things happening. Way more, much bigger stonks and return on investment. That's what I know. So, like, that's what I do. But guys, like, do a bit of research, because like things are selling right now. Like, there's a lot of stuff selling and you can make profit. And even if it's $5, $10 here for sticking a label on something, feels real nice. Like making a little bit of money for doing nothing.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, no, there's definitely we'll have to do that one time. Maybe we'll spill some of our past plays and how they've worked out, and kind of talk about that, and maybe some of the negatives, and share that with this side of the community instead of just our channels and stuff. Would be kind of cool. This is definitely a modge podge of viewers we got here, so
yeah,
interesting for them to hear it and see the good and the bad, you know.
We both have plenty of them to talk about too. I mean, ups and downs and negligibles. I mean, there's plenty of that. I could even pull some data for some of mine. I keep track of most of it. I think my biggest problem is throwing money away. Is giving people stuff. Like, I've spent way too much on giving people stuff. On what I should have. But it's the two different guys sitting on his shoulder thing, right? It's the do this, don't do this, do this. You just gotta have fun. You gotta enjoy it. So,
yep,
I enjoy it.
That's for damn sure, man. Heard you're going to Dallas CollectCon now in a month, right?
You took 10.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I would really wish I was. With Orlando just happening, and then family coming in town, and random other stuff at home happening. Yeah, it's not going to happen for me. But you are, and you're going to be buying and spending lots of Slabbed podcast revenue. So,
all that revenue.
What are you going to be looking for?
Here. Yeah, I don't know if we'll ever be profitable with how much giveaways we've done, and all things considered.
What are you chasing? What are you look? Is there anything specific? Are you looking for trades? Are you buying? Are you going to try and sell some stuff? Like, what's the
raw modern cards that can get 10s and cool Yu-Gi-Oh stuff for my collection? But that's less likely to happen. There's not so much Yu-Gi-Oh at these.
There's got to be someone, right? Someone's going to have a binder, surely.
Yeah, there's usually a few set tables that are almost dedicated to Yu-Gi-Oh. But yeah, the Pokemon, that's the one thing I feel bad about. Like, going up to these tables and being like, hey, can I check out these 5 most expensive cards you have? Let me take a look at them. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Give them all back and walk away. Like, feel bad doing it, but I'm going to do it. So
do you think a lot of the graders, a lot of the vendors grade?
That's something to look out for too. Like, looking at the vendors, like, oh, he grades a piss ton of cards. I probably don't need to look at all of these and check the condition, kind of like how I treat eBay people. If they're selling raw cards, it's probably not a play. If they're doing graded cards as well, so they're checking the conditions just like I would be. So yeah, yep, something to look out for.
I think there's something to it.
Yep.
Well, you want to wrap up?
Wrap her up.
Well, thank you guys. That was fun. I enjoyed going over the spicy topics this week from previous episodes. Pulled a few, just a few there. If you didn't get mentioned, don't worry, you might still in the future. We do have a backlog of a lot of spicy topics, a lot of comments in there. But we did pull a few that seemed to be really liked. There's a lot of votes there going in the section of the comments. So thank you all for participating. Thanks everyone for the spicy topics. Thank you, Josh, for taking the time tonight to talk with me. I enjoy it always. It's always a blast. I really love it. And I hope you guys have enjoyed listening in. And have a lovely Wednesday.
Have a good one, everybody. Peace.
Thanks, guys. See ya.